the flag. Taylor and Lewis look in the zone. And why shouldn't they be after the upsets we've seen tonight? If you'd had a bet on the first 5 winners tonight, 286 to 1 with the bookmakers. Will there be another upset here? England against South Africa. Rod Studd, Wayne Mardle.
Thanks, Dave. Well, I happen to have £20 on the accumulator and I'm off. Well, I wish. Croatia through, Japan, Wales, Belgium, Spain beat the fancy duo of Scotland. Will there be another upset? This would be the upset of upsets, surely, Rod.
You said had it all rolling on to South Africa, Wayne. This is how they fit into the draw. England versus South Africa for the right to beat Japan. And in the same half, Spain and Wales have a darting date tomorrow in the quarterfinals of the World Cup. And at the bottom of the draw, the favourites for this half, the Netherlands, play Finland after this game. Winners to play Germany or Poland. And already, the Highbreak brothers, brilliant performance, averaging 101 for Belgium. And they play Croatia tomorrow.
Well, on averages, this should be a stroll in the park for Team England. And I'm sure it will not turn out that way. Phil Taylor this afternoon was in imperious form. He alone was averaging 113. Adrian Lewis struggled a bit. Will that concern the power, or does he rely and know that his partner will back him up tonight?
You've certainly learned tonight that in any game, anything can happen. And it might happen if Adrian Lewis keeps throwing them there. Anything can happen, even Adrian Lewis hitting 2 single ones. Well, they should be forewarned and forearmed, Wayne, shouldn't they? After all the carnage that's gone on before, with all the big names falling by the wayside. If they wanted any kind of warning about complacency, they've had it, Taylor and Lewis.
Yeah, we said at the start of the day that the format lends itself to shocks. I didn't know there'd be quite so many. Well, Adrian Lewis having a stretch behind Phil Taylor. He's just woken up, so he needs to wake up right now.
Morning, Adrian. He needs to liven up because he was half asleep this afternoon, wasn't he, in the group game. He was joking that Phil Taylor was having to carry a big lump like him around. Oh goodness, maybe the power put his back out. You can't play with 1.5 players in a 2-man team though, Wayne, can you?
No, you can't. You really both have to be on the ball, as the Highbrecht brothers showed. What's capable when you're both playing well? Their performance was mesmeric, it was superb. And England beaten Japan 5-0, and they beat Austria 5-2. Will this be a more difficult task?
57.
If Adrian Lewis continues in this vein, could be in trouble.
60.
Well,
it's
it's left Taylor a tall ask if he comes back, because Sean Hogan here, all he's got to do really is make sure he's leaving his partner Peterson for 2 darter.
59. England, you require 121.
That's exactly what he's done.
How many times has the power taken this out in his career? Will this be another time? Single 11. Well, he's gone for the treble and hit it. Double 14. Annoyed, to say the least.
Well, that attempt at double 14 was the 21st dart England have thrown in this leg. Tops. Charles Peterson, double 10. Brilliant. There. Well done. 1-0 against the darts. Remember, it's a short format. Now, what is Taylor saying there, do you think, Wayne? That looked fairly strict. That looked, again, like a school teacher telling Lewis to get his homework in on time.
Yeah, that was a stern talking to.
91.
And if Phil Taylor had that face talking to me, I would either run or just do as he says. As I can assure you, it was making sense to Adrian.
Yeah. Lewis had the air of a man,
98.
someone who was muttering an excuse about the dog eating it, and Taylor wasn't interested. He's not here to muck about, Phil Taylor. This isn't some kind of glorified exhibition to
60.
mess around for a weekend and have a holiday in Hamburg, is it?
World champion wants to hold in his grasp the World Cup as well, wants to retain the World Cup. Phil Taylor just hates losing, and you mentioned exhibitions, Rob. He doesn't lose in exhibitions, he hates losing. That's why he's won everything.
Phil Taylor has learned, like everyone else, that when you lose a match playing yourself, that
130.
you blame yourself. You've not performed well enough. Here, he'll feel that somebody else is causing him a problem, which is Lewis at the moment. He needs to buck up here, Lewis, otherwise England will have a problem. Taylor has got the team in a good position in this leg, however.
58.
Sean Hogan and Charles Peterson are no mugs, and in an interview earlier today, Dave Clark, Sean Hogan
60.
did say, he said, we're not here just to make the numbers up, we're here to do some damage and win. So they will not give up, they believe that they can do it, and on their day anything can happen, we know that.
England, you require 128.
Well, he narrowly missed double 14 for a 1-2-1. So the setup shot is on here. Yeah, very good. Well, 8 would be... Well, that's interesting, because Lewis usually prefers tops, but Taylor has left him double 16. We'll see if it matters.
We'll see if he gets a shot. He will. Twice world champ, hitting double 16 shouldn't be a problem for him.
65. England, you require 32.
Yes, double 8. Double 8, yes! Well, relief will be the emotion, I'm sure, for Adrian Lewis and Phil Taylor. Well, when you played darts at the highest level, pairs and all sorts, you wouldn't say that this is a particularly friendly partnership at the moment, would you?
No, they look like a pair that have kind of been thrown together at the last minute and don't quite know each other's personality. They are 18 times
60.
champion of the world. They've been there, seen it, done it. They are the World Cup holders, but they're just not playing as a pair at the moment. They haven't got the camaraderie, have they? They haven't got that connection that we've seen in other pairs.
Particularly the Hybrex brothers, for obvious reasons, and they've been terrific. Absolutely terrific. Richie and Mark Webster for Wales.
And the Japanese, not because all these guys are through, but there's a connection, there's a bond between them. At the moment, Phil Taylor and Adrian Lewis, they seem like two individuals just playing in the same team.
Let's not forget they did win the tournament last year. They beat Australia in that dramatic conclusion to the World Cup final here on this very stage 12 months ago. Still big favourites for this game. Let's not let our imagination run wild, but they're not firing. Oh, Adrian, so often after we see that first one pitched perfectly away, we'd expect 2 and 3 to follow.
Well, AD sometimes lets his elbow drop, and he'll tell you that himself. In the World Championships, he put that right. Wasn't playing particularly well, and then was involved in one of the best games I've ever seen against Michael van Gerwen because he lifted the elbow up. Phil Taylor will leave tops. Well, he will not leave tops because the treble 3 was in the way. This is all becoming very awkward and difficult, isn't it?
Well, Peterson has taken out some big ones. Remember, 116 in a previous match. Now, a bull! Wow! Charles Peterson! Get in there! Boy, they break the throw again.
South Africa to throw first.
He's the coolest man in the place. He's not throwing darts down his local pub. He's throwing darts on the big stage at the World Cup here against Phil Taylor and Adrian Lewis. That was brilliant, Wayne, wasn't it?
Well, he's a man playing with confidence, is Charles Peterson.
91.
Just got his tour card. He's looking to do some damage within the PDC ranks. Hit a 9-darter in tour school. The man can do it.
Remember, this is the man who lost all his luggage before he got here. Looked like it was going to be all darts and no trousers. To borrow a pair of strides. Paul Nicholson's, weren't they?
65.
Paul doesn't need them now, does he? Unfortunate. The lady is throwing weak darts at the moment. They really are.
22.
He knows that. Sometimes, we've all said it, the harder you try, the worse it gets. We're having a conflab again here.
No, is it time for Taylor to try the other tactic of just put his arm around and say, come on mate, look, it's alright, just, you know, I'll keep doing what I'm doing. You just raise your game a bit, we'll be alright son, you know, let's not panic.
Yeah, mollycoddle him. Mother him for 5 minutes, Phil. He needs a hug. Because at the moment it's not going according to plan.
Well, the other problem, there's no half-time break. They haven't got a Jose Mourinho team talk to get him out of trouble. They've got to do it upstage now. Brilliant from Lewis, much better. Wonderful darts.
Needed every point of those as well.
64. For England, you require 70.
For a level game, 70. Treble 18 leaves double 8. That leaves tops. Important dart this is. And Phil Taylor knows it. There's the reaction we have seen so often over the years. And sometimes Adrian Lewis has been on the wrong end of that. Well, he's on the right end tonight.
Darts of a world champion from the world champion, the multiple world champion, the 16 times world champion. The reality was, had he missed that dart at double, Sean Hogan on 78 would have been long odds on to have got at least one dart at a double. So go 3-1 up.
31.
Adrian Lewis hits a 177 to lead the 70. And then he takes it out as Phil Taylor. You see, Joel Peterson hits in the first 180 of this match.
Well, I tell you what, Wayne, you mentioned that he earned a tour card which enables him to play in all the major tour events and enables him to have the chance to qualify for the big TV events, Charles Peterson. I do hope he does qualify for one or two. It would be wonderful to see him at the match play, for example, wouldn't it, in July?
It'd be good to see him over longer formats because he seems like he just throws for fun. An entertaining dart player.
95.
Bill looking for a 54. There's no fuss about his play. He just steps up and throws. And he throws very well! 2 on the bounce for Charles Peterson.
Jaw-dropping darts from the young man. Who's left 81 here? Hogan, good dart from Lewis, but 81 here for Sean Hogan for a 5th straight breaker throw and a lead again for the Springbok pairing.
A massive visit, single 12. Well, that's the treble, leaves double 13. What a shot from Sean Hogan. He said they've not come here to make up numbers, they come here to win it. Giving themselves a chance here.
Wayne, South Africa is a sporting nation that plays hard. They play tough sport, whether it be cricket or rugby union or darts or anything.
43.
They play tough. They're very difficult to beat in anything. They never give up. Now this is a test.
This is a real test. The hardest thing in this game so far is for anyone to hold through. Hasn't been done yet. And if the South Africans can, England will be in big bother.
85.
Well, you hear Adrian Lewis. Get up, he said. They're not listening.
41. 100.
They are in trouble here. Make no mistake about it, they are in trouble. Can Phil Taylor start digging England out of a hole that is becoming like an enormous pit?
He needs to work his way down, not across, but down.
45.
That's not going to hurt. Can Adrian Lewis pull something from his locker?
74.
No is the answer.
We've seen some big upsets in professional darts, and we think about the likes of Andy Callaway beating Phil Taylor, but Grand Prix in Dublin. But I mean, this would be a shock virtually off the Sporting Richter scale, wouldn't it, Wayne?
It would. These are the World Cup holders. I've already said 18-time champ of the world. The pair of them, 16 Phil, 2 for Adrian. Just when we needed a moment of genius, Phil Taylor steps in, and it's his first 180 for Team England.
48.
Taylor's 180 has given Adrian Lewis the chance to level the match. He wants double top. That is super. Given how poorly he's been playing, that was no guarantee. That was not regulation as it might have been in many matches.
Well, I'm not sure about the kiss on the cheek there. It's okay celebrating, but easy, Tigers. Phil Taylor digging England out of a hole again. 180 in the previous leg. Then kicks off this with a magnificent 171.
58.
South Africa now have it all to do.
Yeah, as we talk now, that last leg, and particularly the 180 that Phil Taylor hit, looks like the pivotal moment in this contest. It's redressed the balance, it's got the England ship back afloat. Now they look odds on to go 4-3 up. Remember, the winners play Japan, who they've already whitewashed in the competition.
60.
No one has held throw yet, but Myatt's looking likely here, and what a time as well. So he's going to take one moment of genius, or the other way, one moment of mediocrity that was going to turn this game around. But it's been genius from Phil Taylor.
That 180 was a magic moment.
60.
It was a brilliant 182. It was, each dart was as accurate as it would have been had he gone up there and placed them by hand.
56.
Well, it's hardly a block-busting visit. Yeah, look at that. Look how nervous Phil Taylor is. He's not happy. He's not happy. He's edgy. He's tense. And he can only do half the job.
I think Phil at the moment just wants this game done. Just get it won, get off the stage. Tomorrow's another day, and they're still in the World Cup with a chance to retain. Tops. You just knew that was going in, didn't you?
Well, Phil Taylor's not a fool. And what he may say in interview publicly afterwards about Lewis's performance, his own performance, may well be different from what he'll be saying to Lewis backstage. In fact, it will be different, I'm sure.
Well, it has to be. On this form, can England retain? Probably not. Will they play like this again? I'm not too sure. I don't think Adrian Lewis will play this bad again. If they get an opportunity, they haven't won this yet.
Let's make the point that the format changes too, Wayne, for the quarterfinals. The quarterfinals, it will be 2 singles matches and a double.
81.
If you win the 2 singles, clearly you don't play the double because the tie is 2-0 in rubbers.
It's
not enough. Joel Peterson steps up, looking at the treble, gets the treble. He moves about 3 feet over here. He's being greedy. He wants another.
140.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. The confidence. This is looking like a tense decider.
Confidence of youth. Playing like you did 20 years ago, Wayne. No, hang on a minute.
South Africa require 140.
Is there a miscount, Wayne, there?
Well, he really should have gone for a 60 to leave 170, but he obviously felt he couldn't get it. Sean Hogan, as yet, made a bit of a mess of this, but a treble would rectify the problem. So staying at the 57. Well, that's as good as a treble.
Well, we'll have to switch. Yes, brilliant switch. Would have switched anyway, of course, to leave tops.
South Africa requires 66.
Now, the pressure is heaped on the young man's shoulders.
How magnificent was that? And how magnificent would this be if this double eight goes in? Oh my word! What a saviour! What a double! What a bullseye! Adrian Lewis hit 171 to leave tops. Joel Peterson steps in, goes ball, double eight, 4-all.
And so, the crown is teetering on the heads of Taylor and Lewis. It is a one-leg shootout
96.
to reach the quarter-finals. Are the world champions going to be dumped out in a sensational upset, or are they going to scramble home?
Nothing phases Joel Peterson. At the moment, the best player on that stage. He does not fear anyone. Reputation counts for nought. Shakes his head. Not happy. Don't shake your head, Phil.
He squeezes the treble in. Hogan. 64 points adrift, Taylor, as he toes the hockey. If ever he needed one. That's big treble, but it's not enough, I don't think. Not if Peterson produces one of his specials.
And he's got a switch. Oh, they are in trouble.
96.
This really is going to come down to who has the bottle, who can hit the double.
100.
This is for a place in the last 8 of the World Cup.
For the first to a checkout, Hogan. Oh, what a switch! He blocked the treble. Oh my goodness!
28.
Oh my goodness! Phil Taylor is being asked a big question.
Really does need a treble here. Gets
96.
it.
South Africa requires 60.
Joel Peterson, 20. Well, double 10 now. He's got no blocker. Double 5 for the win.
54.
The quickest 3 darts he threw all night. The pressure got to the youngster from South Africa.
Former world champion. 2 darts at tops to scrape home. England have scrambled home. They have survived.